joining me today. My name is Davida, and I'm going to do a few stretches with you today to kind of loosen us up a little bit. We appreciate you joining us and hope that you will enjoy the video today. First thing I'd like us to do is just take a moment to relax. Kind of shake your body out and just kind of settle into your chair. Take a deep breath in and open your mouth and just sigh. Just kind of that idea of just letting go of all the worries, the stress, the feelings that are going on right now. And then as you can either choose to close the eyes or a soft gaze. And then let your mind just hear the sounds around you. Take a few moments before we get into stretching just to kind of be still, to calm the mind, to let the body relax a little bit, and to just tune in to our stretches. And it's just for a short time. If we can get the mind a little calmer, a little more busy with breath and stretching, then we don't worry as much. So once your mind has taken time to notice the different sounds around you, even labeling the sounds, just letting the mind do its job. Take time to do that, and then allow yourself to focus only on the breath. Observe your breathing as it comes in and out of your body. Notice where the breath is. Just let your mind focus there with your breathing pattern. As you let your mind continually focus on the breath, let yourself soften a little bit in your muscles. Let the facial muscles relax. Create a little space between your teeth. Release your shoulders. Let the hands relax on your lap or the chair arm. Then increase the depth of your breath. Take a deeper breath in. And as you exhale, make it just as long or longer than the inhale. So we could do this by just even counting our inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little pause. Then exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you breathe deeper breaths, feel the breath go from the belly up to the chest, up to your nose, and even all the way up to the top of the head. And then as the breath goes out, let it go back out. Feel it go back to the chest and down to the belly, that the belly button goes to the spine. Then inhale, the belly expands. The breath goes up to the chest, up through the throat to the nasal, all the way up tall, little pause, and then exhale again. Take a couple more deep breaths at your own pace. And then return back to the natural breath. So throughout the class, tune into your breathing, deeper breaths, just breathing. Let the breath kind of be the anchor that keeps you from your mind wandering. We always want to check in with how the body feels. So as you're breathing, you're just here at the moment. Take notice of how the body is feeling. Maybe notice something in the neck, the shoulders, your back, your hips, your ankle, your toe. And just being aware of how the body feels so that you can listen and do what's right for you. Never doing anything that causes the sharp pain, tingling, or numbness, or that falling asleep feeling. If that occurs, then stop what we're doing and then try the next stretch with me. And then take a moment just to be grateful that your body is in the shape it's in, being thankful for our health, our life. And just like we did before we did some breath work, take another deep breath in and another sigh. Then we'll begin some stretching. We're going to start with the chin coming to the chest. So let the chin drop towards the chest. You should feel some stretch in the back of the neck. And then let the head kind of roll over to a shoulder. It doesn't matter which way you go. But here we want to let the ear come towards the shoulder. Shoulder stays relaxed. The ear works towards the shoulder. So you might be feeling some stretch on the other side of the neck. You can add the extension if you're familiar with what to do. The arm maybe extends. Breathing into that stretch. Slow stretching is really good for the body, so don't be in a hurry. Just allow it to stretch. From here, I want you to turn and look to your shoulder. So still keeping that ear towards the shoulder, now turn to look at that shoulder. We're just changing the stretch a little bit. And now roll the chin back down towards the chest. I'm going to take it the other direction, so the opposite way. Take the ear towards the relaxed shoulder. First we start with the ear towards the shoulder, feeling the stretch in the side. And then turn to look towards that shoulder. And now let the chin come back down towards the chest. From here, let's go ahead and lift our head up and take it a little bit back. So it's like you're nodding yes. But being gentle, no rush, we're not in a big hurry to say yes. Just that movement slow. And then let the chin come up to about where you feel is the natural place. And we're gently going to say no, nodding the head to one side, back to the center, then the other side. One more each direction. Then bring the chin back to the center. Now take the chin back down to the chest and take the chin and make the figure 8 laterally, or you might know it as the infinity symbol. Just kind of rotating a little bit, that figure 8. And then stop, and then take it the other direction. And then chin back to the chest. Let the arms come to the side of the body. We still have the chin to the chest. We're going to do a couple shrugs. Shoulders up to the ears and shrug. We still have chin to the chest, and then release. And again, shoulders up to the ears, and then release. All right. Then to bring the chin gently back up. All right, now we're going to take ourselves and move a little bit. So as we're sitting on the chair, as much as you're able to, and you are more than welcome to be in a more of a comfy chair, but if you're able to find kind of a harder chair that we can sit down and find the sits bones onto the chair, so we can even fluff the feathers and get those sits bones in there. With the sits bones pushing down into the ground, you create more of your natural curve that we want in the back. And we're only going to be in this position for a while, so the knees they're out a little bit farther, our feet are parallel, and our feet are solid on the ground too, whether you have shoes or not. So we want to find a good posture. If you're familiar with yoga terms, we'd say this is a seated mountain pose with our feet grounded, feeling ourselves lifting up, rolling the shoulders back and down, and we can just rest our palms on our lap. All right, so we want to sit up tall and just sort of feel how the body feels in this tall position. All right, good. Let's take the hands up, and we're going to put them at 90-degree angles, and we'll just stretch out the fingers and crunch, stretch and crunch, stretch and crunch, and stretch and crunch. Bring them back out, and then we call them jazz hands. Just kind of let them shake, 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 shake. And notice one hand is better than the other hand, so just kind of coordination, see what we got. And then just sort of shake them. All right, so we got the hands moving a bit. Let the wrists get a little bit of movement. Roll them around. And then the other direction. Okay, great. And then stretch your arms up towards the sky, and we're just like reaching upward so that we feel a lot of work going all throughout the muscles in our body. And then bring them back down, and go ahead and bring them all the way down. Now take that shoulder shrug, and one more time, shoulder shrug, and release. Good. Now bring those arms back up. This time we're going to reach them up, reach them up. For some of us, it'll be straight above our head, and a lot of us, it's going to be more out towards the side. Back on the back, I want you to think of shoulder blades going down the body as you reach and extend the arms up, and just give them a big reach up towards the sky. And then take your hand to the chair and hold yourself up with one hand. The other arm's going to reach just a little bit more, and you're creating a stretch in the side body here. And then if it feels all right for you, you're going to reach and lean over to one side. Now if we feel like our shoulder is not appreciating this, you can have the hand down, keeping the shoulder, the arm below the shoulder. So find a stretch that works for you. Keep your body solid into the chair as you reach and stretch. Then come back to center. Both arms come up. The opposite direction now. Hand comes down, we reach and we stretch the body apart. And then again, same thing here. We'll lean the other direction. Same option. Shoulder is bothering you, keep it low. We can even have it here. Create this arch is where we're going right now. And then back up to the center. Now with our shoulders, roll them one direction about 4 times. So you're actually, even have your arms up a little bit, and it's more like the elbows are leading. And now the other direction. Give you a lot of tightness in our shoulders, so we want to loosen them up a little bit. Taking the arms out now, we're going to reach them out towards the far edge away from us, like we're reaching. Point your fingers back a little bit more, so we should feel stretch in the forearm as we point the fingers back. And if you can, try to bring the shoulder blades towards each other, so we get more of a stretch. Fingers reach back, shoulder blades towards each other. Take that stretch, take a deep breath in, the breath out. And I want you to give yourself a big hug. It doesn't matter which arm goes over which. Just pull the arms across. Stretch and even pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a big hug. So on this one, there are various ways to go. We can stay like this. We might find ourselves barely reaching across. Try to create the stretch on the back side of the body. We do in yoga, the eagle arms. You might bring the back of the palms together. You might even bring palms towards each other. So we should be feeling like the stretch in the back is occurring. You could even play with the arms. Maybe they go up a little bit. Maybe they go down and kind of find that spot where you feel like, ooh, that's a nice stretch for me. Ease up if it's too much. Make sure you're breathing. And then from here, we want to pay attention to which arm is on top of which, because we'll change them out. Let the arms come back out again. Again, you might be right here stretching, or you may feel like you want more stretch again. And then pay attention to which arm was on top, because we need to do the other one. So the arm that was on top is now going to go underneath, and you can give yourself another hug. Probably not getting enough hugs right now if we're social distancing. So then we can stay here. We can take it to back palms or eagle arms and play with raising, lowering the arms. All right, and then you can release the arms. All right, just kind of shake them, move them out a little bit, create some movement. So you should be feeling like we're getting a little bit of movement in the arms. And just rub the hands together, get the nerve endings in the hands, just rub them together. All right, good. All right, now fingers, hands, shoulders are feeling pretty good. Let's move the spine a little bit more. We got the neck part stretched, so we want to create more movement in the spine. A little cat-cow stretch is what we would call this, and you can do it with your hands down on your nut lap. You can have the hands out in front of you. I'm going to go to the side because what we want to see here is the curling of the back as the spine is moving. So if we are familiar with cats, we notice how they just stretch. They curl their back and they stretch. That's kind of the movement we want to find for our spine. And then the opposite direction, where we kind of arch it, and maybe the head goes back a little bit. But notice how we're creating that movement in the spine. We belly button to the spine, curl, and then arch, lifting up a little bit. The arms could go out and you curl, you stretch the arms forward, even tuck the chin to the chest. And then the other direction, we can sit up and even let the arms go back. Good, one more time with our spine rounding, and then find the arch. Great, good. Okay, anytime we're in throughout this time, and hopefully you watch this more than just once, if you want a sip of water, please take that moment, get a sip of water. I'm trying to move slow, but yet get through so that it's something you can add to your day on a regular basis, right? It would be good to do this at least 2-3 times a week. If you've got other activities and stretching, then that's fine. But if you're not doing any other stretching, if you could add this to whatever you're doing, maybe you're walking, it will just help you get a little bit more mobile. And we want to keep doing that as we age. We need to be mobile. Even when you're young, you need to keep mobile too. If you do an office job, you'll find that you get all tight and knotty, and this can help a little bit with that as well. All right, so we have done a little bit of a rotation, and now we want to twist the spine. So we want to kind of wring it out, and we're going to turn ourselves one direction. So we can take one hand and just place it behind you. Find yourself sitting up very tall. Take the other hand to the other knee. Now sit up tall, take another inhale. As you exhale, rotate like you're spinning, or we're kind of squeezing around, wringing out the spine, and take breaths. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe you find a little bit more. With the neck, you might find you want to keep it forward. It might go to the side. It may find. It goes with the rotation and rotates all the way back. Be safe and gentle. And one more breath. And then come back to the center. So we'll do the other side now. Support yourself, just giving you that support on the one side. The other hand can go to the knee. Take that breath in, lengthen tall. Exhale, create that little bit of a rotation. And inhale, lengthen, and exhale, rotation. Couple more breaths. Good. And then we come back to the center. All right, so we've got the neck moving a little bit. We've got some other movement going. We'll get the hips and the legs moving, but before we get to that, let's go ahead and take the legs a little bit farther apart. Take your forearms to your knees. And we're going to just kind of lean into this. So we're trying to find that lean hinging forward. We don't want to be all rounded, and we just want to find little bit of lean forward where we can get a little stretch, lower back. We call this like preparing for a forward fold or even a child's pose as we lean forward into it. So be very careful we don't fall off our chair. A couple more breaths. And then slowly walk yourself back up. Now we can do a slight back bend. You can take the hands to your back and support back bend. For a lot of us, let's take the hands to the back of the chair and then lift up and just a little bit of arch, kind of like that cat and cow stretch. And then back to a natural mountain seated place. Okay. We can take our leg movement now, and we can take our legs out and just kind of move them, shake them out, creating a little bit of movement. We might be running in a spot so you can't see my feet. I'm not too well pretty soon here. We're going to take one leg. It doesn't matter which one you want to start with. We'll just take this leg up. Hold it up as best you can. It might be out here. It might be, anyway, if you have a strap and you want to use the strap as your support, the strap could go underneath here, and that could be housecoat rope, right? That would work. A belt would work, and maybe this for you is what you need to do. Everybody's going to be different on what they need. The goal here is we're just going to try to get a bit of movement and stretches in our lower limbs, okay? So we're going to work with our feet just like we did with our hands. Let's move the feet around, circle them around a few times. So the ankles get movement, and then the other way. And then point and flex. Good. All right, and then the toes. Gentle with your toes. They may be sensitive. You want to stretch them out and crunch them gently. Give them a little bit of movement. Great. All right. And then from here, we want to create the movement from the knee. So we're going to lift up a foot and back down. And lift it up. So that movement's coming from the knee joint. Lift up, back down. A couple more times. Good. And then put that leg out there. You might feel like, oh, I can get a good stretch here. You may, if you have that strap, you might even find, I want to stretch it a little bit more. Or you just kick it out and stretch. Again, it might be right like that. Just give some of that underside of the leg, a little bit of stretching. Okay, good. From here, we're going to create movement in the hip socket. So take that same leg we're working on. We're going to move it around in circles. A few times, one direction, and then another direction back the other way. Okay, good. All right, so we want to get a little bit more hip flexor stretch. We might have hip issues and find that we cannot do what we call a pigeon all the way. Pigeon would bring in that ankle up to your other knee, and that might really be fine for you. Another option is just down to the ankle. Notice how my knee kind of goes out to the side. I've got my foot, let's see if you can see it, on my ankle, just resting, so that this knee goes out a little bit. So we get a little bit of hip stretch in here. Okay, so I'm going to bring mine up because I can feel it on this side, and here you're sitting and you're feeling like, oh, getting a good stretch. You might sit into it a little bit more as you lean forward like we did with that forward fold. It'll change where it stretches. So something we can do just anytime is feeling a little stretch. Keep your foot flexed so that your knee is nice and active and safe. All right, take a couple more breaths. All right, good. And then I'll bring that leg back out. So, woo, okay, shake it out a little bit, and then we'll work on the opposite side. So the other leg you're going to take up again. You might find, oh, yeah, that works really good to hold it with something. Bringing this leg up, we want to create movement with this foot. We're circling around our ankle. Yes, you might hear pops and stuff, and that's going to happen. It's not hurting anything. Other direction. Just kind of getting the fluid moved around. And then stretch up your toes and point your toes down. Good. And then reach the toes up and gently, toes stretch, toes crunch. Good. All right, from here, it's from the knee. Lift up and down, up and down. And I notice one side is totally different than the other, so expect that, and that is kind of just how our body is. All right, so now we're stretching it out, and you might find that you want to stretch a lot. Remember, this is the idea of trying to get a little bit more stretch underneath. And you may be right out here like this, barely open, not very high out. No worries where it is. Okay, now, from here, we're going to circle around. And it's like the knee is drawing the circle. But it's coming from the hip. And then the other direction. Great. Nice. All right, and then we'll do our figure 4. So it might come onto your ankle, up to your knee. It might stay down at the ankle and just let that hip stretch out. And we take a few deep breaths. All right. From here, let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you in a moment, but what I would like you to do is go back to that first leg. Take that leg and put it out in front of you. This leg is staying bent. So I'm going to stand up and show you on a chair what we're doing on the floor so that you can see. You're extending out the one foot, and the heel is on the floor. So right now we're already starting to feel a stretch. We're seated, and we're feeling that stretch. Point the toe towards your face. All right? And you should be feeling a little bit more here. If you feel too much, put a little bend in that knee. So remind you, you're seated, doing that same thing, pointing the toe towards your face. All right? Just like we did in the pigeon pose and maybe in the forward fold. If you feel like you want to lean a little bit more forward into it, go ahead. So we're trying to get the back side of this leg stretched a little bit. All right, and then bring that foot back, and then we'll do the other side. So extend that foot out, heel onto the floor, toe pointing towards you, maybe leaning into it a little bit more. So now if you are flexible and you want to stand and put your foot up on the chair like this and feel that stretch, it will be more intense. So you're welcome to do that option. You might feel like you can do that. Just take that leg up onto the chair and stretch it and feel the back side of that body getting a stretch. Okay. And then we'll bring both legs up. Okay. So we pretty much I think we've gotten most of the muscles in the body stretched. We can bring the soles of our feet together and just let both knees kind of fall to the side. Just get a little bit of stretch in here. All right, loosen up those muscles a little bit. Doesn't hurt to kind of rub massage the muscles. I'm not sure if you're able to get to your massage therapist right now as we're kind of got our isolation going on. So you can do a little self-massage. It's good for the body. And then bring the feet back together. Now walk them out a little wider. And so we're going to create a little bit more of a hip opening here. And we're sitting up tall. And if you can, lean a little bit forward into it. So being safe, we don't want to lean too far. We don't want to fall off the chair. But if you're flexible and you feel like you want to lean way into it, even to the point where your hands can come down to the ground and you're like in a forward fold, just remind yourself that if the head goes below the heart, it's quite often easy to become lightheaded. So back up and keep the head above the heart. So we're in this somewhat of a forward fold, wide leg forward fold. If you're in the point where you stand and do stretches, you are welcome to stand up and do a wide leg forward fold. And then if we're folded over, let's bring ourselves up a little bit, and we're going to take a shoulder to the opposite knee. So we're just going to kind of get a little bit of a side stretch. So standing, you can stretch over to one side and back to the center and over to the other side. And then back to the center. All of us will come up into our seated mountain pose. I want to do one little bit more hand-arm work. where we get the side of our body up into the armpits a little bit more active. A lot of this is how you make it happen. Arms are reaching up and have the palms towards me, and you're reaching up, the elbows are out to the side. And it's like you're trying to peel the air open. So we want to engage the muscles here, and then the muscles there will go. So we'll pull down. You should even feel the shoulder blades working. And again, pull down. Good. Inhale up, 2 more, exhale. And good. Now, bring them back to their 90-degree angle. Still keep that action going on, like you have to hold your arms strong. We're only doing 5 of these. We're going to bring the elbows and hands towards each other and then back out. You can make this be like you have to work real hard, pushing that air towards each other and then back out. Good. 2 more. Nice. All right. Nice job, everyone. All right, then bring it back down. Now just a little bit of roll, a little bit of movement. Go shoulder left, shoulder right. Just let them alternate. Yeah. All right. And then sitting up in the chair, maybe you go back a little bit. Take a deep breath in. Reach the arms over your head, even gazing up. Exhale, hands come down. Do that one more time. As you inhale, let the arms reach up towards the sky. You might be right here, that's fine, or all the way. And exhale, arms down, a big stretch. And then we take the hands to our thighs. Now take a moment again. The eyes soft, gaze or closed. Just notice how the body feels now. Notice that maybe the mind has become a little stiller. Tune into the breathing pattern. Take a long, deep breath in. Breath all the way out. It has been my honor and privilege to guide you through this little stretch practice today. May you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you live in peace. Thank you for joining us with Henschel's Chiropractic. My name is Davida, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.